Sir,
Sir,
please start, sir.
okay. Good morning, respected elders, teachers, and my dear students who is studying class 10th. I am T. Slivaraju, School Assistant English, working at ZPSS Enkuru, Khammam district. Children, today we are going to know something about how to lead our lives happily, how to live our lives without any fear. Is it possible? Yes, children, it is possible for some rules and regulations. They are called human rights. Yes, we are going to discuss about human rights in our 8th unit in our textbook. Could you please open your books, page number 223. There is a style sheet, 8th unit, human rights. Dear children, what is human right? What are the human rights? First, we know the definition of the human rights. The human rights are moral principles. If you want to write down, please write down. Human rights are moral principles or norms that describe certain standards of human behavior, that describe certain standards of human behavior and are regularly protected in law. And they are regularly protected in law. So what a wonderful meaning of human rights. I'm sure you are recollecting your knowledge. What are the human rights? Am I right? So we can see in our style sheet in page number 223, the students, so many students are raising their national flags, holding their hands with happily. Because our nation, through the some human rights like trust, equality, freedom, hope, peace, justice, and rule of law, dignity, prosperity. So these are the human rights. They are very helpful to us in our life to lead happily. Without that human rights, we can't live happy because some troubles we will face with our neighbors, with our friends. So these rights can help us to lead our lives very happily. So it is very privileged to discuss about human rights in our class. And I want to give one quotation about the equality. So if you turn the page, there is a face sheet. There is a beautiful quotation. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. So what a wonderful quotation, you know. All human beings, yes, we are human beings. So we are all born free and equal in dignity and rights. So there is no differences among us. Simply says, this sentence is the golden sentence. So I want to ask some simple questions about this quotation. The question number one is, what does this statement speak about? Can you give the answer? If you want to give this answer, you can write down your notes. What does this statement speak about? Dear children, when you are writing like these questions from the text, you can add something from this question. So I can help you. What does this statement speak about? So you start with the answer. This statement speak about, understand? This statement speak about equality in dignity and rights. Equality in dignity and rights. So this is the additional information we are adding the answer. That answer also taken from the quotation. So this is very easy process to write the very short answers or short answer questions. And second question is, do you agree or disagree to the statement? Justify. So, are you remember the quotation? All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Do you agree or disagree to the statement? Justify. This is also very simple to write the answer. Either yes or no. If you have a chances to write yes or no. If you write yes, you can justify. If you write no, also you can justify. For example, yes, I agree to the statements because all men are by nature equality free. All men are by nature equality free and independent, created equal rights among which are life. So this is the justification of that question, why you are agree with the statement. And the third question is going to ask to you, have you ever witnessed any incidents in contrast to the above statement? Tell your class. So it is also a good question. It is application question. Have you ever witnessed any incidents in contrast to the above statement? Tell your class. Here also we have options. If you are witnessed any incidents contrast to the above statement, yes, I have a witnessed person. If no, no, I have not witnessed any incident like this. If yes, you can tell the class. How could you tell? Yes, I have witnessed several incidents to all above statements. For example, in our village, the people of some castes are not allowed into temples. They have no equal rights. So you are see that situation in your locality, in your village or mandal or district or state. So these are the questions to give your own answers from the particular context, from that text or quotation. And here is one oral discourse, dear children. You can see this. It's a debate. What is the topic of debate? Children should not have equal dignity and rights as adults. So this is very interesting debate topic. Am I right? So children should not have equal rights and dignity as adults. Are you agree or disagree? If you agree, you can speak about I'm not uh, support this quotation or this sentence, this statement. If you are support, you can give the answer. So when you are speak like this debate, you are participating in this debate, you will start with, you address the elders who are conducting that debate. In your class, you have to address your teacher. Respected teacher, respected ma'am, I am not agree with that statement because children should have equality, equal dignity and rights as adult. If you are not, you can add your opinion. So, and you have to give the explanation to why you are not have equal and dignity rights. So, like you have to write the oral discourse. So, this is introduction of the human rights. Dear children, these human rights helps to live very happily in our lives in present situation. In those days, our ancestors, our forefathers faced so many problems in society because there is no human rights. And some other countries like South Africa, West Indies, and some remote areas, there is no equality and dignity among all the people. So here, we're going to the A reading. Our author or our narrator expressing his views, which he was suddenly facing, suddenly watching. What is that incident? Yes, he explains to us each and every incident. We can learn something from that. Is it right? So if you want to prove that, we will go to the A reading. What is A reading? We can see the style sheet, Jamaican fragment. In this unit, Jamaican fragment is the A reading. What is Jamaican fragment? Jamaican is the island country in the West Indies, in African country. It's an island, it's a place. So many people are living there. African people, we can immediately recall that they are in black. And some whites also there, but we will get some idea about African countries belongs with the black people. Okay, dear children, I'm sharing my screen to you. The lesson Jamaican fragment. Fragment means it's a part or a small piece. So Jamaican fragment. It's a small country, a small piece. Okay, what happened? What is our narrator sharing his views? What is that incident? We will go to the lesson. First of all, I am going to read. Then I will ask some questions about this paragraph. Okay. Every day I walk a half mile from my home to the tramcar lines in the morning and from the lines to my home in the evening. The walk is pleasant. The road, no either side is flanked by red and green roofed bungalows, green lawns and gardens. The exercise is good for me, and now and then I learn something from a little incident. One morning, about halfway between my front gate and the tram track, I noticed two little boys playing in the garden of the more modest cottages. They were both very little boys. One was 4 years old, perhaps, the other 5. The bigger of the two was a sturdy youngster, very dark, with a mat of coarse hair on his head and coal black eyes. He was definitely a little Jamaican, a strong little Jamaican. The other little fellow was smaller, but also sturdy. He was white with hazel eyes and light brown hair. Both were dressed in blue shirts and khaki pants. There were no shoes and their feet were muddy. They were not conscious of my standing there, watching them. They played on. The game, if it could be called a game, was not elaborate. The little white boy strode imperiously up and down, and every now and then shouted imperiously at his bigger playmate. The little brown boy shuffled along quietly behind him and did what he was told. Dear children, can you able to understand this paragraph? What our narrator was sharing his feelings? Yeah, the narrator, when he was doing some morning walk and evening walk, he noticed one incident. The two children playing a game. That game should not be elaborate. So where the narrator was walking, what is the time, and how the place where he was walking, and what the incident he was noticed one morning, and who are the characters of in that incident, who are they, how they are looking, and what is they are doing. So these are the questions about the paragraph. Do you any idea about my questions from the text? Yes, I'm sure you are all ready to give the answers. First, where the narrator was walking, so we can give the answer from the first 3 lines. And the other questions also very easy to find the answers in the paragraph. So once again, I am reading. Every day, I walk a half mile from my home to the tramcar lines in the morning and from in the lines to my home in the evening. The walk is pleasant. The road on either side is flanked by red and green roofed bungalows, green lawn and garden. The exercise is good for me, and now and then I learn something from a little incident. One morning, about halfway between my front gate and the tram track, I noticed two little boys playing in the garden of the more modest cottages. They were both very little boys. One was 4 years old, perhaps, the other 5. The bigger of the two was a sturdy youngster, very dark, with a mat of coarse hair on his head and coal black eyes. He was definitely a little Jamaican, a strong little Jamaican. The other little fellow was smaller, but also sturdy. He was white, with hazel eyes and light brown hair. Both were dressed in blue shirts and khaki pants. They wore no shoes and their feet were muddy. They were not conscious of my standing there, watching them. They played on the game. If it could be called a game, was not elaborate. The little white boy strode imperiously up and down, and every now and then shouted imperiously at his bigger playmate. The little brown boys shuffled along quietly behind him and did what he was told. So, this total incident, if you want to see the picture, yeah, you can see this picture. There is mainly three characters we are observing. They are playing in the lawn, the open field before the house. And the main characters are two little boys. How they are looking, what they wore the dress, who is serving, who is ordering. And the third person, a biggerly elder, he was observing that. Maybe he was our narrator. Dear children, are you understand what is going on? Why he was thinking very serious about their game? Maybe he is thinking very serious. He could not explain that was the game. Yes. So what he think about and what is the comments from white boy? So we will note down some important meanings of this paragraph. We can underline that tram car. What is the meaning of tram car? Tram car means electrically moving vehicles, like their cars or buses. Tram cars means electrically moving vehicles. And another word is flanked. Yes, the road on either side is flanked by red and green roofed bungalows. Flanked means covered. Lawns. Lawns means open fields. And coarse. Coarse means a mat of coarse hair. Coarse means strong. And the other word is sturdy. Yeah, the bigger of the two was a sturdy youngster. Sturdy means very strong. And here is a verb, wore, W-O-R-E, wore. It's a past tense of wear. And hazel. Hazel means greenish brown or red is called hazel. It's a color, name of the color. And imperiously. Imperiously means expecting somebody is obeying. They are asking any to get. He expecting somebody is obeying. That is called imperiously. So who is imperiously commanding here? I'm sure the white boy. We can also observe in the picture. Who is doing or quietly doing immediately? Yes, black. So this was the game. What is our narrator noticed? Dear children, do you think, is it really a game? Because they are looking like in the same color dress, or they are playmates, or they are neighbors, or who are they? Yes, maybe our narrator also thinking the same questions. So we will reveal that what is going on there in the next page. Could you turn the page? Page number 226. Here is the white boy imperiously commanding, pick up that stick. The dark boy picked it up. Jump into the flowers. The dark boy jumped. Get me some water. The dark boy ran inside. The white boy sat down on the lawn. This was the scene he was noticed. So how he was feel? Yeah, next paragraph tells, I was amazed. Here before my eyes, a white baby, for they were little more than babies, was imposing his will upon the little black boy. And the little black boy submitted. I puzzled with myself as I went down the road. Could it be that the little dark boy was the son of a servant in the home and therefore had to do the white boy's bidding? No, they were obviously dressed alike. The little dark boy was a equal class with his playmate. No, they were playmates. The little dark boy was a neighbor's child. I was sure of that. Then how was it that we obeyed so faithfully the white boy's orders? So the questions are rotating in his mind about that game. And the questions also there. And the actions also submitting there. So thank you, children. Today we will discuss remaining part of the lesson. Thank you.